It's not in our outline.
Is the very last, oh, I think it's supposed to be in between coordination activities and balance activities on the last sheet. That's right, I remember doing this. Yeah, that's right. Emma sent me a picture yesterday. So you set them up in a place where they're very, very supported and they really can't move much if they want. My feet are a little ways away from the wall and I'm just in a very solid spot when I'm in the corner here. And even here I've had like patients just doing some real simple things and still have like gait belt on them, like really holding on to them close, worried like just because they're so uncoordinated that they still might like fall down in this position. Like still with the chair really close by to get them into it quickly if they start to lose their balance even in this very supported position. Then once you're in, we'll go through like the progression of where you'd go after the corner. Once you're in this position, still sometimes you gotta do very, very simple movements that where you're moving away from midline and then moving back to it. So first thing is just holding midline, holding this posture, and then single arm movements away from midline and then back towards midline. And it can be with upper extremities, lower extremities as well too. So I have like giving patients like a 1 pound bar like to move here and still be like very jerky, like whole body wants to kind of convulsing there moving. So movements away from midline, taking a very small, slow step forward. You gotta cue slow, small movements, or else it's gonna be very fast and uncoordinated. Then, after you've mastered kind of moving away from midline, back to midline, away from midline, back to midline, they can start doing reciprocal movements of the limbs or moving both limbs at the same time. Moving one in one direction, one in another direction, moving both limbs. Then maybe holding one thing while moving another thing. From the corner, you would progress to, you can progress by getting your feet closer and closer back into the corner so you're not leaning against it so much. And that gives them less support. You're just giving them less and less support. From there, you just progress to leaning up against a wall with your feet farther back and then your feet closer to the wall so you have less and less support. And you run through those activities again, moving away, holding that position, moving away from here, moving back to here. With a lot of these patients have used like dumbbells and arm weights for arm movements and a little bit of just like stepping, small steps forward, small steps to the side. Once they've mastered leaning up against a wall and doing it, you find a doorway or somewhere where there's a corner that they can lean on the corner. Less support that they had leaning against the wall and not leaning, they don't have as much contact area between them. Same activities, holding that position, moving away from midline, moving to midline. And eventually, hopefully, as the coordination and smoothness of movement improves, working just unsupported, not leaning up against anything at all. Sometimes, like for the patients I've had who